Good. Due to the declared emergency regarding COVID-19, although the board meeting will be open to the public, we cannot guarantee entrance into the meeting room since seating will be limited to ensure a safe environment for all persons in attendance. Doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and once we have reached our capacity, no one else will be admitted. Per CDC guidelines, everyone in Camden County, New Jersey should wear a mask in public indoor settings. 6 feet social distancing must be observed at all times. Attendees must remain in their seats at all times. Please visit our website for instructions on how to remotely access the meeting. Have we gone live? Have we gone live?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For some reason, it's not live. Okay, now it is. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, public notice of this meeting has been given to the board secretary in the following manner. Posting written notice on the official bulletin board of the Voorhees Township Public Schools Administrative Building on July 26, 2021, August 24th, 2021, and December 3rd, 2021. Sending written notice to the Courier Post on July 26, 2021, August 24th, 2021, and December 3rd, 2021. Filing written notice with the clerk of Voorhees Township on July 26, 2021, August 24th, 2021, and December 3rd, 2021. Posting on the Voorhees Township website on July 26, 2021, August 24th, 2021, and December 3rd, 2021. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you want me to stay for the meeting?
Yeah, actually. If everybody could remain standing, I apologize. There is no tragedy in life like the death of a child. Things never get back to the way they were. Dwight Eisenhower said that. Tonight we stand with the O'Drain family. We support you and we honor Jack's memory. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Jack O'Drain and the joy he brought to our district. Things will never be the same, but may his memory continue to shine bright. Thank you. Ms. Haley, will you do the roll call?
Mr. Bryce?
Here.
Mrs. Cosenza?
Here.
Ms. Galliano? Mr. Taylor, can you confirm that Ms. Galliano is online?
She's calling in.
Yes.
Yes.
She's not in the panelist spot. I don't know her phone.
I'll write her.
I'm just going to call her on my cell phone and see if I can join her that way. Dana, can I just have you join on my phone? Can I have you join on my phone? It seems like you're not coming through on the Zoom call. Can I have you join on my phone? You're not coming through on the Zoom. Okay, very good, very good.
All right.
Okay, I have you on speakerphone. We just called the roll, so I'll say your name. Ms. Galliano. Ms. Galliano.
Here.
Dr. Levy.
Here.
Mr. Schmooze.
Here.
Mrs. Van Auken.
Here.
Oh, let me back up a second. Mrs. Stupler.
Here.
Mrs. Van Auken.
Here.
Mrs. Watson.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 29th, 2021 meeting as shown on the attachment, the regular meeting and executive session?
I'll move that.
Second.
Okay, I'm opening it up for voting. Ms. Galliano. Thank you. Unanimously passed. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the January 5th, 2022 meeting as shown on the attachment, regular meeting, as well as executive session?
Second.
It's open for voting. Ms. Galliano?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Motion to approve the minutes of the January 10th, 2022 meeting as shown on the attachment, regular meeting, and executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Voting is open. Ms. Galliano?
Yes.
Motion
Yes.
carries unanimous. Thank you.
We have 3 items under information items. Fire drills and safety drills as shown in the attachments, the HIB report as shown on the attachments, and the suspensions list as shown on the attachments. There are no items under communications. Ms. Haley, Board Secretary report.
Thank you. Our district is part of the Burlington County Insurance Pool Joint Insurance Fund. And every year they have an annual state of the GIF, they call it. And they have a dinner where they recognize districts for the safety achievements of the year. We were very pleased to reach elite status, and we were issued elite 2 status. So we were issued a check, a real check actually, for $4,500. And it was for, like I said, achieving elite 2 status for $3,000. And we received 2 claim coordinator awards for claims management of $1,000 and claims processing of $500. But our biggest honor that we were so proud of is Mark McNone, our supervisor of buildings and grounds, was awarded Safety Star of the Year. So that was just so exciting for all of us. And there were several of us in attendance, and Mark received a nice little plaque thing and other acknowledgements. So we're very proud of what he accomplished during the year to keep our district safe.
Absolutely, we are. We share in praise for Mr. Mignon.
Thank you.
Superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd first like to read a proclamation that was issued by the governor earlier this month. Whereas New Jersey Public Schools serve nearly 1.4 million children in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade. Whereas New Jersey's 5,000 local Board of Education members and charter school trustees devote countless hours to the oversight of school district operations, including finance, policy, curriculum, and staffing. And whereas, as the policymaking body for local school districts, New Jersey local boards of education endeavor to meet the challenges facing public schools and to help students attain the education necessary to excel in college and in the workplace and to enable them to compete in the global economy. And whereas local board of education have contributed to New Jersey being among the leading states in measure of academic quality, such as National Assessment of Educational Progress scores and the preparation of college through advanced placement courses and other curricular offerings. And whereas the New Jersey School Boards Association has declared January 2022 to be School Board Recognition Month. Whereas by making meaningful contributions to public education, the dedicated members of local school boards have greatly enhanced the quality of life in our state. As a school board member myself, I would just like to thank our school board for your time and your efforts. It can be both rewarding and thankless, but I just want to thank you all for everything you've done for our students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of other items, housekeeping items. First of all, I'd like to commend all of our teachers, our staff, custodians, our kitchen, food services for all their help over the last couple of weeks. They've all jumped in. They've worked double shifts. They've gone to other school buildings to help cover classrooms. So I'd just like to thank them all for what they have been doing, what they will continue to do over the next couple of weeks. We have our last vaccination clinic will be on this coming Friday at the middle school. We've had 6 different clinics. It will be open for first shots, second shots, and boosters for anybody interested. And you can go to our website to sign up if you'd like to register for that. I have declared, and this will be coming, and I'll warn the board ahead of time, I've declared February Teachers' Pet Month. Each building right now is running a contest. The teachers are all submitting a picture of their pet, and each school is going to vote on their favorite pet. So at February's board meeting, the board will pick their final, their favorite pet to be displayed. Just a little fun thing that the kids are involved in. When we reopened our school to 5 full days of instruction, 2 of the things we were obviously concerned about was assessing and addressing learning loss. And the other part of it was the social and emotional learning for our students and our staff. So tonight we have 2 presentations. The first one is from our guidance department. We have Mr. Boyanelli from middle school and Ms. Dariana from the elementary school, and they're going to do a little presentation of our new social and emotional learning curriculum. So I'd like to turn the floor over.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for, appreciate you having us here so we can introduce this to you. So what we have is a social emotional learning curriculum. It's for K-8. It's an agency called Move This World. We were introduced to them from another one of our co-counselors over at Osage. She introduced this to us. She let us know what it was, and we met as a team, and we spoke it over with Dr. Young and Ms. Donnelly, and said this could be great for our school, especially with the kids coming back. So the principles, it's built around self-awareness, you can see self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and appropriate decision-making. The way this agency, the way this curriculum works is they're films that the students are able to watch and engage in, and then a lot of back and forth between the teacher and then the students. So this next slide, you'll see an introduction to Move This World, from Move This World. So.
When we're creative, it's an inherently vulnerable process. Whether it's writing or moving our bodies, we are connecting to ourselves in a more profound, authentic way than we would cerebrally. Move This World's mission is to equip pre-K through 12th grade educators and students with tools to strengthen mental, emotional, and social well-being. Our curriculum is rooted in techniques from expressive arts therapy, positive psychology, mindfulness, and social emotional learning. We work with visionary leaders, either at the district level or at the building level, who are looking to create an environment, a climate and culture where students and staff can thrive. These are leaders who are looking for existing structures that they want to elevate or strengthen, or new tools to build a common language, to create an environment where teachers and students have tools to check in with themselves, check in with one another, ensure that emotional wellness is part of the DNA and operating plan of how they run their building. Every teacher receives access to a platform of evidence-based videos that they use to start and end the instructional day. So it really is as easy as pressing play. Some of my favorite moments are when a common language is developed, and it's not just teachers and principals holding students accountable, but students holding themselves accountable and holding one another accountable. Teachers have so much on their plate. There are so many responsibilities that teachers hold. If adults have the tools to take care of themselves, to model pro-social behavior, to build a foundation for taking care of our stress and supporting our wellness, then we're in a better position to model this and cultivate this in others. When we're creative,
So as you saw there, it's just an introduction to what Move This World is, and there is an online platform that all the teachers were trained in September how to use it, and obviously we are K-8 district, so it's gonna be different what first grade sees compared to what our 8th graders see at BMS, but it's been met surprisingly at the middle school. They welcomed it into the classroom. We'll talk more about that.
At the elementary level, pretty much all the curriculum is being taught in each of the homeroom classes by the teacher. And then at the Voorhees middle school, the curriculum is being taught basically in the health and physical education classes with the teachers on a regular basis. The health teachers work with the lessons into their weekly health lesson schedule at each grade level. And then the students who are not in health classes during, it will be then in their PE classes as well.
Yeah, so the students at the middle school level, all students, no matter what market grade, are either in health or PE. And then they have 2 days in the 6-day rotation of a PE study hall. So they utilize that study hall time for the social emotional learning as it fits.
Here are some, we asked some students in the elementary level and at the BMS level just to see what their responses were to Move This World so far. And so I'm just going to read a couple of things. This was from a classroom at E.T. Hamilton, a 2nd grade classroom. And some of the students were saying that it makes them happy and calm. It helps control themselves when they're mad or sad. They also were saying that it feels relaxing when they are finished with Move This World. They get right into their seat and ready to learn their learning position. A 7th grader at BMS stated that, with starting BMS, it's supposed to be really exciting, but sometimes, with having to quarantine and having to be remote, it can have some tough days. So Move This World lets them talk about what they're feeling, and that's been helpful for them. And then an 8th grade student said that being a teenager is hard. Talking about this stuff with their class helps them connect.
And then the final slide on here. What's great about Move This World is the homeschool connection. So all families can connect with Move This World at home on their digital platform. The links for Move This World, each school has their own unique username and password, which is Move This World. I think what we could do as a guidance team is make sure we're connecting the parents with this, having it on our own websites, because then this isn't accessible right here, but moving forward, we can push this out weekly so that families do know that this is an option, and it's a great tool for them to have for icebreakers, whether it's around the dinner table or on the drive to soccer practice. It's a way to start those conversations about where students are at emotionally. So This World helps us out in the building, and it's also helping within the community with the family connection as well. So it's a very quick elevator pitch about Move This World, but we've seen that the students are responding positively to it. I can speak for BMS, and I believe students as well.
Absolutely, yep.
So,
Yes.
thanks for your time.
Thank you. And the other part that we have Dr. Allegre here. This is one we're kind of excited. We have an outreach program called Care Solace that she was able to set up for the district. And it's almost a 24/7 help for our students and for our staff. So Melody's going to take it away.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm actually joined by Ashley Plain, who will be supporting us virtually, but just to give a quick intro into Care Solace. When I started in August, I noticed that we had a need for families needing home services, behavioral health supports, mental health supports. Being able to navigate that insurance process can be quite overwhelming for a lot of our families. And so I was really excited to link up with Care Solace, hear what they had to offer, bring them in to meet with our guidance counselors and our child buddy team so that they could also hear from them and ask them questions. And what Ashley is going to talk about is our utilization and also just giving you guys additional information on Care Solace. but we have really found that it's been helpful for our families. Again, navigating that insurance can be quite overbearing for a lot of our families. And medication management, families are not able to get appointments, and this has really been a help for us. So Ashley, I'm gonna let you start your presentation and I'll just support here.
Awesome, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm really grateful to be joining today. I'm gonna jump into our presentation and then we'll go from there. So Care Solace, we are a mental health care coordination service, and we're on a mission to calm the chaos of the mental health care system. So we are currently partnered with over 4,000 schools, both K-12 and higher ed across the United States. We're reaching about 3 million students. We're saving counselors, social workers, school psychs, principals, 233,000 hours of phone calls, emails, et cetera, to providers. But this resource is not only available for students, it's also an option for families to use, as well as all staff and staff families. So our aim is really universal access within your school community. And with that, we are reaching around 12 million people. As Dr. Allegria mentioned, there are many barriers that pop up in the mental health field, whether it be the social stigma of reaching out for help in the first place, insurance barriers, language barriers, and even once families find a provider, sometimes they have to manage wait lists or specialization fits. And so our whole goal at Care Solace is to really break down these barriers, hold families' hands throughout that exhausting process, and help bridge this gap in between a person who needs help and a provider who is willing to help. And so the way we do that is through these pathways of care coordination. All roads are going to lead to our care companion team. So we do have this 24/7 multilingual team that is here to be the workhorse for your school community. So the care companions will call out to multiple providers on a family's behalf. They'll wait on hold. They will help the family to navigate their insurance and make sure that provider takes that insurance. And then they can help that family in the appointment setting process. There are 2 platforms through Care Solace. So one is called Care Loop. That's where your mental health staff can submit referrals, or what we call warm handoffs, to our care companion team. And then the staff is able to follow along with the progress as our team helps that family to get connected to a local mental health care provider. The second platform we call Care Match. And this is a completely anonymous and confidential way that your families can search for care on their own. So you have your own proprietary link there. Families can access it from the comfort of their own homes, and they can seek care a little more anonymously in that way. So getting into some of the data here on the screen, you'll see your key performance indicators. And this is as of January 19th when I pulled this. I'm happy to report I just looked right before I came and joined you today, and there have been 2 more appointments scheduled since I posted this. So since we've started, we have 13 successful appointments scheduled for your families. We've had 40 warm handoffs, so that means 40 referrals, 6 families who have reached out to us directly, and then 21 anonymous searches from your community. And another really important number to look at here is this communication saved. So this communication saved is all the emails, text messages, and phone calls that our care companion team has made in an attempt to coordinate care. And so we're already up to 2,210 phone calls. So it is a really exhausting process sometimes to get a family linked to a provider, and that's exactly what we're here to do. You also have the ability to see this live utilization data throughout the year. So you'll be able to see the demographics that are reaching out for help in terms of gender, age, and ethnicity. You will be able to see what they are seeking help with on the substance use side and the mental health side. And so since we've started, we're seeing big varieties here in all of these categories. And top 3 reasons people have been reaching out for help within your community is anxiety, depression, and trauma. You're also able to see the insurance that families are using and the providers that we are connecting them with. Also, I'd love to note we work with families regardless of their insurance. So whether they have private insurance, public insurance, or if they have no insurance at all, we will help find a sliding scale out-of-pocket option for those families. And we are seeing all types of insurance come up here as well. We do also have telehealth and in-person provider options because, as we all know with COVID, a lot of providers have gone to telehealth. It's a great option for families who are open to that and if it fits their need. So this next slide, this is our Voorhees staff Net Promoter Score. So every time your staff is utilizing our resource, we're gonna ask them for some feedback, see how it's going. So far, we're at an 89. So that's a really good thing. It's showing us that this is helping your staff and taking a lot of work off of their plates. And then last up, here's some different perspectives. This first one is from a school counselor. I have made one warm handoff so far. The warm handoff is the referral. And I'm very impressed by the contacts that have been made for this family. I've checked my dashboard every day for updates, and in 3 days, I've been blown away at the work that the Care Companion is doing. This program is amazing. And then this next one here is from a school social worker. Everything is user-friendly and the response time is very fast. And so our whole goal here, again, just to hold families' hands throughout that process, help them break down those barriers and get them connected to the help that they need. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for allowing me to join, and we're really grateful for the partnership and happy to be supporting your community this school year.
Thank you, Ashley. We just wanted to go over another quick thing is all of our district nurses, all of our child study team members, all of our district administrators were also trained in Care Stylist, so they all know how to do the warm handoff. And we all have it in our email signature with the phone number, with the link, so that anybody that we're interacting with through email can quickly, log in. Like Ashley mentioned, we have families even who do their own self-referral, so it doesn't even come from the district. So it could be something that they've seen on our email signature, and they just go ahead and do a referral themselves. So just she said over 2,000 contacts, and that really speaks volumes because we don't necessarily always have the manpower to make all of those calls. And as soon as we put a warm handoff in with Care Solace, they're making calls, they're contacting families, they're texting, and we're able to log into our dashboard and we see every single communication that was done, the time, the responses from the parents. And a lot of times they're able to reach families quicker and better than we are able to reach them in terms of trying to support them with mental health. So we are very appreciative for the partnership with Care Solace. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and finally, the last thing is this past Friday, all of our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they virtually streamed in with Mr. Jeremy Anderson, and he's a motivational educational speaker. And he about 45 minutes, he spoke to the students about bullying, the use and misuse of social media, and making good choices. I did poll some of the staff, and I'm pleased to say that it was overwhelmingly was positive for the students. They all seemed to like it, and they all seemed to get a lot out of that virtual demonstration. So that's all I have.
Great, thank you. And thank you to all of our presenters. Those were fantastic and very timely and necessary resources. So I'm really happy to hear that we are offering our students and our staff the necessary resources especially for social and emotional health and mental well-being. I don't believe we have any committee reports. I don't believe so. Please, anybody speak up now if I am wrong. Okay. Audience participation. Anyone wishing to address the board, please approach the podium and write your name and address on the login sheet. If you are attending via Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature to be acknowledged. While the board is limited in its ability to respond to the public on matters involving personnel, litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege, the board will now hear comments from the public relating to items on the agenda for this board meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board will not take action this evening. You will be notified at some later time by letter, electronic mail, telephone, or in the context of a later board meeting of any action the board does take. No? You raise your name. Yes, please come to the podium and sign your name. Just watch the little cords. I just don't want you to try. Yeah, of course.
All right, good evening. My name is Patricia Klein, and I just had a concern. I looked at the video, Move This World, Social Emotional Learning. And what I saw in front of me were children of color only. So I'm concerned about why is it focused on children of color in the video? And why is it not multicultural, multi-ethnicity in these videos? Are we sending a message that people of color need additional help? Now, when I grew up, we had an equal opportunity, not equity, but an equal opportunity. And that basically means we want to be given, as a person of color, the same opportunity as everyone else in school. So I'm a little concerned. Are we sending a message to our children that are of color, that we are inferior, we're less, we can't, versus telling our students they can? What is happening to our students of people of color? There's no difference. We were created with a brain. We can think. You might have to teach us in a different way. That's right, I'm a visual person. So by speaking to me, I sometimes don't get it. But if you show me, I can pick it up. So we may learn in a different way, and that doesn't have anything to do with a ethnicity. It has nothing to do with a color, a race, okay? It has nothing to do with that, because we all learn differently and in different ways. I'm a little concerned that we're segregating, separating people of color and those that are not people of color. Don't paint a picture that we are less. Don't paint a picture that we cannot learn like everyone else, because we can. I'm concerned that that video was only of children of color. Did I miss something? That's what I'm concerned about. Don't separate us. No more segregation. We belong together, unified, and we all should be learning on the same level. Thank you.
One question I do have is how as far as the presentation of Move This World, how does that relate to helping kids prosper in school for the future? They've already suffered a lot of learning loss in the last 2 years, so they're playing catch up. So we don't understand, or I don't understand how this is coinciding and where this is coming from and why that's prominent, because the academics should be prominent. And also, it's unfortunate that we're still discussing our kids wearing masks for the last, I don't know, 2 years. I'm going to read off a list of states that do not have school mask mandates. These are the schools that do not have masks. Alabama, Alaska.
Ma'am, that's not on the agenda. This is agenda items only.
Masks aren't on the agenda. Okay. So
there's no agenda item for that.
Because it's not on the agenda?
Correct. You can wait till the next public comment time.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Well, okay. Well, then let me just discuss the Move This World then, because that is part of the agenda. Okay. So I just, I understand, we understand that kids are suffering socially, emotionally, mentally. I just don't first of all, where is this being implemented? Is it all pervasive in the curriculum? Is it in health?
can kids opt out? You know, where exactly is that?
Down.
It wasn't explained. So, question. Thank you.
I'm gonna address that only because I believe it was explained that it's going to be part of the PE and health curriculum.
It was not. Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah,
Mr.
it was.
Ariano.
That was very clear that it was part of the PE and health curriculum.
Yeah, maybe I misheard, but is that where it's going to be, the Move This World? That's where it's going to be incorporated?
The middle school is health and.
Okay. And then for elementary? Okay. Oh, in homeroom? Oh, in homeroom. Okay. So.
Are we allowed to ask questions for them or now? Okay.
No.
Why not?
It's not question and answer time, it's public comment. You have a public comment on an agenda item, go to the podium, write your name and say what you got to say.
Hi, yes, Terry Bell. I appreciate the presentation in light of everything that's going on with COVID and the effects that it's having on the kids. I think it's good that we start to address mental health issues. However, as a licensed mental health clinician, I'm wondering how much emphasis we're putting on our teachers to become clinicians at this point when they're not licensed to do so. So I'm wondering how that's going to be, how much emphasis we're putting on our teachers to be doing that. Is that going to be something separate where if they have a concern about the child that they're going to make a referral to the guidance counselor who then makes a referral to Move Your World? So that's kind of my question. I hope that gets addressed at some point in time. You know, because again, they're not clinicians to be doing that. So I'm kind of concerned about that. Also, whether surveys are going to be put out to our kids, and if so, are parents going to have access to these surveys to be seeing what our kids are filling out? You mentioned that I think that it is on the website that we can look at this curriculum so that I can look that over. But I want to make sure if kids are being given a survey that parents are going to have access to that. So that's kind of my concerns at that point. And again, for the last time when we came back from Christmas vacation, I know Mr. Redfern, you had mentioned that you sent out I think an inquiry to see that in the event, we know COVID's not going away, to ensure that if we start to lose staffing, that kind of thing, that we have a plan implemented. So it's maybe to help avoid another shutdown in case of staffing issues. So I was kind of concerned about that because I know I mentioned it a few months back, a while ago, that what if we came up with some type of an option where parents who are concerned, who have kids who are immunocompromised or have high-risk comorbid issues, that maybe they can opt to have their kids learning from home, whereas the kids who are not can be in class, so that can help cut down on staffing issues. So I don't know if you've got a response back from that yet. I would like to hear about that because I think that could be crucial in helping to cut down on staffing issues.
Yes.
And also kids who are at risk.
I did bring that up with our county executive superintendent, and that would be considered hybrid, and the hybrid model expired. And school districts are not allowed to offer that.
Okay, even if the numbers start to come back.
Unless the Department of Ed gives us the okay.
Okay, that's what I was talking about, to help, cut down on, again, if we have staffing issues, that our kids don't have to be missing class, at least those who are not at risk versus those who are. I think that would be a smart move to help with that. Anyway, so those are my concerns. But again, with this program, my concerns are about when the teachers have to become therapists when they're not licensed to do so. So I want to know how that's going to be incorporated. If you're going to be making these referrals to guidance counselors who then make the referrals to your program. So that's my concern coming from a licensed clinician standpoint. Those are my concerns. Thank you. question. Can we do all more than one?
No, ma'am, one time. There's another public comment section at the end of the agenda.
And we can talk about the agenda issues.
Yes, ma'am, you can talk about anything you want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the time, and I appreciate the presentation that you guys made.
Sorry, can you state your name?
Excuse me?
Can you state
Your name.
and your address?
Oh, excuse me. My name is Lou Horvitz. I'm from 6 Birch Street in Voorhees, New Jersey. Okay. I appreciate your time, and I did appreciate the presentation, but it was very general, and I didn't really get a lot of details. I really didn't have a good handle in terms of what the vision of the program is, what your capabilities truly are. I really don't know your credentials. I'm not sure what kind of competitive challenges there were from other companies. There was no address of that as far as I'm aware to the community. And you know, I think that engaging and inserting yourself into the community like this requires a lot more explanation in terms of what kind of services you provide, the quality and the history, the outcomes that you've had in the past. I saw a couple of graphs, pie charts, I saw things of that nature, nothing that.
I'm sorry,
I could
sir,
really
you
get
have to put your mask back
Yeah.
on.
I know,
Sorry.
you know, I'm getting a little short of breath though.
No, sir, listen, you're gonna put your mask up or you're gonna sit down. And end of story. You're not gonna sit there and flaunt the rules. The rules are the rules.
Okay, rules.
Okay.
So anyway, maybe after I get down, maybe you can come up and address some basic questions in terms of where your company stands, who your competitors are.
Sir, they're employees of the school
They're
district.
guidance counselors.
They're
from our school.
they're not from any company.
See, that was not even made
That's how
clear.
they were introduced.
They
were
introduced themselves as guidance counselors.
Oh, they
And,
did.
and the other young lady was introduced as the director of special services. So
Well, okay. So
they're
that
employees
clarified that.
they're employees of the district.
So the person who was presenting on video, who was that?
That is not an employee of the district.
Okay, so then how will everything become integrated? How will maybe my question really was driven to the woman who was presenting the social emotional learning. Okay, so I apologize. I thought you were all part of that organization. I didn't realize that you were part of the school district, but still, the point remains that the woman really didn't give us a lot of data. I don't really know anything yet about the quality of her services. I still don't know how that type of service is going to get integrated into the curriculum. And I'm wondering how they were chosen. Were they chosen because of, you know, they've been recommended? Were they part of an interview process of 10 different organizations that provide similarly? Did they have relationships with people who were
Your
on the
time is
board?
up, sir.
Okay, well, so some of those questions I think can be answered in the upcoming weeks. Thank you.
Any additional comments? Nothing for that, yeah. Do we want to let Dr. Allegria talk about how we selected?
No, it's not a question and
Okay.
answer.
All right. Any board comments? Yes.
Dr. Allegria, I want to thank you for bringing this crucial service to our students and to our community. As we know, before COVID, but certainly as soon as COVID started, we saw a lot of mental health issues with our students, with their parents, quite frankly, with everybody in the community. I'm familiar with services such as Care Solace and what they can do in terms of reducing the amount of time that people spend just coordinating services and benefits to get those critical appointments is essential. And the fact that this is something we can offer to our families and to our students make a great big difference. in their ability to get those services that they need outside of the school district. So thank you for taking the initiative to bring this to our students.
I have a couple of comments. And thank you to our guidance counselors for joining us tonight. I know it's not always easy to come and present to the community, and we so appreciate you, all the work and all the support that you do for our students. And, you know, I think that we sometimes think that our students come to us with all of these tools, all of these kind of, you know, life skills. And I think one of the things that Move This World is going to provide is a common language and some of these tools that, you know, that they definitely need. So appreciate you. I want to also give an update on the superintendent search. Is this the appropriate time?
Yep, okay.
So as you know, we are partnering, we're in the middle of our superintendent search, and we are partnering with a search firm called HYA, whom we found to be incredibly valuable during this process. To give you an idea of how many folks applied for the role, we had 64 applications started, of which 42 were completed. HYA conducted initial interviews and background checks, and the board considered 13 of these candidates. We reviewed, for each of those candidates, we reviewed 5 documents. So their letter of intent, their resume, an introduction, their application, and their references. And we recently interviewed 6 of these, and we further narrowed the field down for another round of interviews. So that's the latest update.
Thank you very much. Any other board comments? Okay. There are no items under transportation or policy. Personnel. Can I have a motion to approve all of the items under personnel?
Thank you. Voting is open. Yeah. All votes are in, and it is unanimous. The motion passes.
There are no items under deferred action. New business. Can I get a motion to approve all of the items under new business?
Voting is open. All votes are in. I'm closing the voting, and it is unanimously passed.
Our next meeting will be January 29th, 2022. The Board of Education will immediately adjourn to executive session. The meeting will be held at the Voorhees Township Public Schools Administration Building at 8 a.m. The purpose of this meeting is for Hazard, Young, Atea, and Associates to conduct interviews for potential superintendent candidates as part of the superintendent search and other personnel items. The next regular scheduled meeting is February 23rd, 2022 at 7 p.m. and it will be at the administration building. Audience participation on any topic. Anyone wishing to address the board, please approach the podium and write your name and address on the login sheet. If you are attending via Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature to be acknowledged. While the board is limited in its ability to respond to the public on matters involving personnel, litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege, the board will now hear comments from the public. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board will not take action this evening. You will be notified at some later time by letter, electronic mail, telephone, or in the context of a later board meeting of any action the board does take.
Do I have to write it again? Okay, I'm sorry.
If you could just say your name again one more time, though.
Once again, my name is Patricia Klein. And the reason I'm standing up here, I'm concerned about our students their help with the mandate of the mask. Now, I truly believe we said mental issues, mental health we're addressing since COVID. And right now, I am breathing in my carbon dioxide, poison. And I've had it on for a short period of time, my mask, but I can imagine what the students must be going through the entire day, breathing in carbon dioxide, poison. This is a crime against humanity. And I'm really shocked that we can't change this. So I'm going to present something to you today because I see an increase in suicide, mental issues with these masks have to come off. The ESSER Fund, which is the Elementary and Secondary Emergency Relief Fund that all of the schools received. You received in the first ESSER grant, 2020 in March, $199,000 to address this COVID issue. The second ESSER fund that you received was $740,000. Our money, taxpayer monies, parents' monies of these children. In the third ESSER monies you received, taxpayer money, and we have a right to say what we think you should do with our money or send our money back. But in the third, you received $2.4 million. Let me say that again, $2.4 million you received from the government, our money. You received Voorhees close to $3.4 million to address this concern. What have you done with our money? It's our money. We're the taxpayers. It belongs to us. So I'm presenting a resolution for you. If you took this money and you had to have a mask mandate to receive the money, give our money back. Give it back and change the mandate, take it away and make it optional for our students to wear the mask. Give it back. That's $3.4 million. Return our money because we have a right to make a decision to take the mask off.
That's time.
Take the mask off and return our money. Thank you.
While we're speaking about masks, well, first, I want to say that, you know, you're introducing these social and emotional programs for our kids' mental health, but you're ignoring the elephant in the room, which is the masks. The masks are harming our kids emotionally, psychologically, academically, in so many ways that it's not even, it's just like, is this a normal way of life now for these kids not to be able to breathe for the entire school day? I'm going to read off the states that do not have mask mandates. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. They must be doing something right. How are we in New Jersey stuck with these masks? As per a teacher in New Jersey, speech is seeing a lack of progress with articulation because students can't see their own mouths or their therapists. They cannot read facial expression. The mask is also creating a barrier for mouth movement with the lips. Tongue placement for sound production is also being impacted by the mask because kids are keeping their tongue pushed back in their mouth to avoid touching the inside of the mask. There is a 350% surge in speech delays.
350%. OT has seen new sensory seeking behaviors of having something in their mouth. Think of the many kids who now chew on something all day because they have a mask in their mouth. There is sensory seeking behavior of having pressure on their face. Kids have developed a need for that pressure when the mask is removed. OT and PT have both noted visual perception has been impacted because of the edge of a mask being in their eyesight view. Looking down at a paper to write color and having a noticeable difference with the mask on and the mask off. PT has been most concerned with how the mask has impacted walking downstairs. They have seen more students using 2 feet on a step versus alternating feet because they can't stabilize their balance with the mask on going down since they can't see the next step. This is in addition to the learning loss, psychological and mental effects of the mask. If they aren't preventing spread, and they've been shown not to prevent spread of COVID, let's just acknowledge that. Why are they being tortured by having to wear them all day, 8 hours a day? The mask should be optional, and by forcing kids to wear them, you're violating these kids and parents' constitutional rights. I think that's being ignored. We're not discussing constitutional rights. They do have them, and you work for us, and there's confusion here. It's not the other way around. The above mentioned issues will end up resulting in damages. You have been placed on legal notice of future claims.
Can I come back again with another issue?
No, ma'am.
With a different issue?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Not question and answer time.
Not even questions.
Ms. Watson, you should move on to board comments, please.
Point that's relevant to everybody here. I'd like to yield my time.
It's not the way it works, sir.
Well, where is the thing that
Where's the bylaws that say that's not the way it works?
Board policy, why don't you go online and look at them?
You get 2 times to speak is the policy?
That's it.
Well, it says audience.
One time, 2 times.
Guidelines, where are they? Can someone tell me? It says audience participation guidelines.
They're on the website. Board policies are on the website.
If there's no other audience comments, board comments?
There is one online.
There is one online, yep.
Hi, Lisa Cassidy, Tulane Ave in Voorhees. Move This World. I have been online trying to find the curriculum for this. Where can I find this online? I've not been able to locate it.
Is that the end of the comment?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. That is my question. Thank you.
I mean, I was able to type in movethisworld.com and it comes, the website comes up automatically. I can't point you to anything further than that, but the website does come up if you type in movethisworld.com.
Okay, I didn't do .com, but I did do Move This World. I did it with spaces and without, nothing came up. So I'll try it that way. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Board comments? Finance. Motion to approve all of the items under finance. I'm sorry, can I get a motion to approve all of the items under finance?
So moved.
Thanks.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. It unanimously passes.
Can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session?
Second.
Sorry.
It's okay, you're fine.
Okay, I'm opening the voting. Mrs. Van Hoffen, your vote wasn't coming through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Motion passes.
Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 8 of the Open Publics Meeting Act, the public shall be excluded from that portion of the meeting involving discussion of personnel. Further resolved that discussion of such matter in executive session can be disclosed to the public at such time as the board takes formal action. Further resolved that the board may be in executive session for more than 30 minutes. Action may be taken upon return to public session, although I don't believe so. Okay. I cannot give an estimate, but it will probably be about 30 minutes. Can I get a motion to adjourn the executive session?
So moved.
Mr. Bryce?
Yes.
Mrs. Cosenza?
Yeah.
Dr. Levy?
Yeah.
Mr. Schmuse?
Yes.
Mrs. Stupler?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Auken?
Yes.
Mrs. Watson?
Yes. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.